Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope you guys have had a good weekend and a good start to the week as well. And before I start this live stream properly, I'm going to just address my post over on Patreon. And I'm also going to put a little sign on the screen which is going to say to donate is probably going to be better to do it at Wings of Pegasus, my PayPal account that's over there, which is paypal.me/Wings of Pegasus, because the post that I did on Patreon, there's been a bit of a wave that's gone through the YouTube community outside of the USA tonight, because we've all been sent an email, content creators, that says by June is when creators outside of the USA will be charged USA tax rates for every view they receive from a US resident. So it means that all of your donations that are very kind here, and thank you guys so much for those over the last few years, all of the donations that do come in on the super chats are going to now be not only, I think it might be 45%. I didn't even know that, but that's what people are saying about YouTube. That's what they take from the super chat donations. And then you have to add on 26% tax for the USA. And once you've got to that figure, obviously, once I then receive the donation, I then pay 20% tax in the UK, because I pay tax in the UK, but now I'll have to pay tax for America as well. So anyway, it means that if, say for example, I had a very kind donation of $100, it means that 45% of that would be taken by YouTube, but then add another 26% on, or actually I think it's 24%. It is 24% that YouTube are then going to take out of that for US tax. And once we get to that figure, so that's now 69% is taken, and then I will receive then $31 effectively, and then I'm charged 20% tax on that in the UK. So it works out at about, what's that, $24-ish out of a $100 donation. And I just want to bring this up because I'm pretty sure that you guys, when you donate, aren't aware of how much is being taken out of that donation, and then how much in the end I personally receive to then put towards the channel and put towards things for the future and the running of my channel. So just to throw it out there, I'll probably mention it in the future as well as June starts to come around. But this is the thing that is affecting everybody outside of the USA who uses YouTube, and of course I am one of those people because I'm in the UK. So just to throw that out there to begin with, and this is why that message is up on screen, that if you do want to donate, paypal.me/Wings of Pegasus is definitely the best place for me personally, because then all that's put in there is a processing charge, and that'll be just maybe $2 or $3, something around that area. So if it is a larger donation, then I think it's worked out as a percentage, so even smaller donations aren't paying anything, well, won't be paying anywhere near the 69% that I will be having taken out of it in the future. So just to throw that out there, I'll keep you guys updated, but it certainly is one of those things that is a bit of a kick in the teeth when you know that people are trying to donate directly, but then a huge chunk of it is taken out. So anyway, we have had a few super chat donations, so thank you guys for that. Anyway, I still have set up the box up on screen, and let me just get you guys up on screen to begin with in the live chat room, and let me say a huge hello to you guys. We have Ian in the house, and Carla as well, Dan, Scott, Beverly, Paula, Billy, and Terry, and Mary in there, who's now changed the username to just me. So hello Mary, I just spotted that. And Jill and Frank and Mike Dog, I think that said. Linda Z's in the house. Hello guys, thank you for tuning in and joining me tonight. And this puts even more of an emphasis on how important my patrons are to the running of this channel and everything I do, because these people are the reason why I can do what I can do, and the reason for every single video on this channel, and every live analysis, standard analysis, every live stream, because Patreon is a separate site, and these are the people that support me over there, and it's something that won't be affected over on Patreon. I believe it's 5%, maximum 10% that they take as a cut, and everything then goes to the creator or the musician or the artist, whoever the people are supporting over there. So it is really good over on Patreon. It's all about the artists themselves getting the biggest cut of the money that is sent in to support them. So a massive thank you to you guys at the bottom of the screen, because without you guys being the foundation and something that I can rely on, I would have so much more of a difficult time keeping up with things when things break and all that kind of stuff. So a massive thank you to you. You know who you are. So let me get the super chat window up on screen as well, because this is another thing that YouTube have changed, that as soon as I go live, I lose the donations that have happened before we've gone live. And that's a bit annoying because they used to stay up there, but we've had a donation from Orlando, of course, which was a $2 donation. Thank you for that. And I'd usually plug the mug, but because I was rushing around trying to get pictures organized, I didn't have a chance to get my mug, but I will do that while the video is playing. I'll sneak off and get the mug and plug it. But if you guys want to get your hands on a mug or a Wings of Pegasus hoodie, as I am wearing today, then you can click on the items in the tray underneath this video and underneath all the videos on the channel, and that'll take you through to spring.com, and then you can get your hands on some of the merchandise. But thank you for that, Orlando. And the message was, well, you know, spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that. And we also had a couple of donations that came in. One from Lucy, which was $4.99. Thank you for that, Lucy. And the message is, howdy Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers. Always a philabulous, fantastic stream and community. Spike the likes, y'all, with peace, a heart, and some rock horns. So thank you for that, Lucy. And Paul has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, okay then, that's 1 for you, 19 for me. Sounds familiar. So thank you for that, Paul. And yeah, that's just about the sum of it when you get to the end of it. But thank you for that, Paul. And one Sean Bond has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, appreciate you so. So thank you for the kind words, and thank you everybody for joining me tonight. There might have been another donation that is not showing up, and I'm not sure if I am making this up, but something is ringing in my head. So I'm going to refresh the screen that I looked at previously in order to grab Orlando's donation, and there was another donation in there, so I'm not going crazy. It was Mary who donated $5, so thank you so much for that. And the message is, it's my day off and I get to be live for the live stream. Yay! Hello Phil and Phil fans. So thank you for that, Mary, and we got there in the end. That's the problem with the system on YouTube at the moment, is you can get donations in the super chat window that then just fall between the gap of you going live and then other people donating, and they just fall between the cracks, and then you can never find donations that were made, whereas you guys know that I want to try and address every single donation. So thank you everyone for the donations and your support on the channel just as a whole, for hitting that thumbs up and subscribing. Let me get the live likeometer up on screen when I mention about the likes, because we have 120 likes so far tonight. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. If you haven't done that yet, it would be much appreciated if you could hit that little thumbs up button, because we are aiming for tonight, I think, 370 likes, and this is another thing that I have not managed to update because I was so busy doing everything else, but it is set at 370, and I'm going to try and edit it and get it on the screen in the corner. There we go. There it is. The official confirmation of 370 being the number that we are aiming for tonight. And we did not hit the pick roulette likes target last week, unfortunately, so it means that we're not going to have a pick roulette. I mean, we were within seconds of doing it. That's why every like is so important, and it's important to try and get in there early on with the thumbs up, because then by the end of the live stream, we can hit these targets for the pick roulette. We just didn't do it last week. I think we're probably within about 30 seconds, but by the time the live stream had finished, it then clocked over, but that doesn't count, and I have to be strict with this. We can't just give away these special picks all the time. They have to be really meeting the requirements of hitting those thumbs up and getting to the targets. So we will see what happens. And we have had a few more donations, so thank you guys so much for this. And I think I'll probably refer back to the site, or the paypal.me/Wings of Pegasus link that I mentioned later on and throughout this live stream. By the way, I've put it in the description for this live stream. I'm not sure if that shows up while the live stream is live. And maybe you guys could let me know in the live chat room if the description underneath this video shows up, because the link to that donation page or site or whatever you want to call it, if you click on that, it'll take you directly there. And I'm not sure whether it shows up. So if you could let me know, that'd be great, because for the future, I could then just say to everybody, the link is in the description below in order to donate if you want to. Of course, you can still donate in the super chat window, but just know that in the future, as much as 69% will be taken out of that before it gets to me. So that's just something I want to make sure people understand. And yeah, it is a bit of a pain, but that's just the way that it's working, unfortunately. So guys, we are going to be moving on with the live stream. We've had so many pictures that I was looking through over on Facebook. Thank you, Carla and Vince, for linking me to those. I just didn't have time to get everything on screen, so I'm going to have to work around getting the pictures on screen tonight. And there is one that I'm sure that I showed in the past, but maybe I'm going crazy and I didn't show it in the past, but that was Shawnee Key and her hoodies, or her hoodie with the two pictures from front and back. So we'll have a little look at that later on. But thank you guys for requesting videos over on Patreon as well. It helps me out with just organizing this and being able to play different videos. But let me just jump into that super chat window, because we have had a few more donations in there. And let me just scroll up to make sure that I don't miss any out. And I'm having to look at a different screen now, because I've organized it differently with the super chat window. But anyway, hopefully you guys can see the super chat, or at least the latest super chat donations up on screen. But let me just scroll up, because Michael has donated $10. Thank you for that. And the message is, I have an emergency super chat. I am not Michael Emmett, the religious sax player. Please call me Mike. The other Michael is way out there. M, but he's a good sax player. So thank you for that, Michael. And yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't quite read that. I think maybe there's an apostrophe before the M as well. But thank you for that, Michael, and the message and the clarification as well. Orlando has donated $10. Thank you so much for that, Orlando. The message is, thank you for playing Hero. I love that song. I think that's rock horns. It's yellow on a yellow background, so it's hard to see. And the message continues, your YouTube income situation stinks. The long story short is your US YouTube income goes down from 60% to 31%. Am I hearing that correctly? So thank you for that, Orlando. And it means that my YouTube income is always going to have 45% taken out of it, but now an extra 24% taken out of it. And that is something that will happen in the future. I've got to submit my taxes to YouTube, because I now have to submit my taxes to America as well as the UK, but they have to look through everything, and I guess make sure that I'm paying tax in the UK, but I'm certainly someone who does everything by the book and makes sure that I'm paying exactly what I am required to pay in the UK, and to the point where I have somebody who looks over it all for me, because as you guys know, I'm not very good at maths. So just to make sure I pay every single penny that I'm required to, I do it all down the line. So I've got all of the documents that I need, that I now need to upload to YouTube over in the USA to give them my tax code or reference numbers, all that kind of stuff. So then they calculate the amount of tax that I pay according to my country. I think it varies from one country to the next, so we will see what happens. But yeah, that's basically in a nutshell that an extra quarter is going to be taken out of it, and it was already really almost a half anyway. So yeah, it's something that's a bit crazy, but we will see. Anyway, thank you for that, Orlando. It is something that will be happening in the future, and I think maybe creators in the USA haven't been affected by this, but this was an email that was sent out probably about 6 hours ago, something like that. So of course everyone who doesn't live in the USA are pretty much up in arms, because they also say, which is an absolutely fair point, that, well, can't we stop our videos being seen by people in the USA, so then we don't have to pay USA tax rates on our income? And that is something that's not an option. So people that might have an audience in the USA, but they would rather stop the USA from seeing their videos in order to not get charged another 24% tax and lose that money, there's no way to have that option. So it means that everybody outside the USA is getting taxed, as well as their tax they pay in their country. And that's something that is just tough. You're just going to have to deal with it. So just to throw it out there, it doesn't mean that I'm stopping making videos, but I just want everybody to know exactly how things work. But also, Carla, I've just seen, has gone through saying PayPal link is not linked. So PayPal link is not linked. So I don't know whether you can see the description below, or whether the actual thing hasn't been set up correctly. I'm actually gonna totally move away from the YouTube screen. This is risky. I don't know whether I should be doing this, and I don't think I can edit the stream while we are live, which is a shame, but we will see. Oh, it definitely says in my description PayPal donation link, and then the paypal.me. So if that doesn't work, unfortunately, as you can see on the screen, the little lights thing went to streams because I was changing the screen, but you might have to manually type it in to an internet browser, Chrome or whatever you use, in order to get to that. But you can maybe start up another tab if you want to not lose access to this stream. But thank you, Carla, for pointing that out. There's nothing that I can do about that, unfortunately, and we're just gonna have to work our way through it. It's something that we'll have to learn to live with, unfortunately. But let me just make sure I don't miss any other donations. Thank you for that, Orlando. And Carl has donated $5. Thank you for that, Carl. And the message is, I'll up the Patreon donation from now on. So thank you for that, Carl. That is very kind of you, and your support, everybody in the super chat window, has been massively appreciated over the last few years. I just didn't realize how much was being taken out of that, just without the extra potential 24% tax that's going to be taken out of it as well. So I thought I'd mention it now that I know. And Vince has donated $5. Thank you for that, Vince. And the message is, tried to donate in PayPal with the info you gave, and it's saying can't be found, asking for an email or a mobile number for you. So thank you for that, Vince. And I'm not sure whether, if I'm trying to log in, I don't know whether that's going to be a screen. What I'm going to have to do is try and log in myself or do something, I don't know, but this is the first time we're trying it tonight, and it's really just out of something that's literally just happened, so I'm really rushing to set things up. But thank you for that, Vince. And Dan has donated $5 as well. Thank you for this, Dan. The message is, hello Phil, Wingers. Phil, could you tell us how and why songs can have the same title? So thank you for that, Dan. And I'm not sure what this refers to, whether you're just talking about songs that have the same title just generally, like my song called Hero, and there's lots of other songs called Hero. I know that there's a Foo Fighters track, and I've also done a cover of Hero as well, which was from the Spider-Man movie, but I think you can call your song whatever you want it to. You can't copyright a word. You can copyright a chord progression and lyrical content over the top of those chords, but yeah, you can't copyright words. Otherwise, everybody who's talking, me for example, I can say that all the words that I'm using on this particular live stream are copyright. So anybody else that wants to use my words now have to pay me to use them. So yeah, just the English language. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tries to do that in the future and charges people to use English words. But that is currently the setup at the moment. You can't copyright words, but you can copyright songs. So this is why you can call your song whatever you want, and there are many songs that have the same title. So anyway, thank you for that, Dan. Marge has donated $2 as well. Thank you for this, Marge. And it's a straight up donation. Stan has donated $5. Thank you for that, Stan. The message is time to set up a PayPal account, Phil. So thank you for that, Stan. And Rob has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Rob. And Lucy has donated again $9.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, music is essential in my life, and I'm curious about what stereo equipment some musicians use to listen to music. What do you have? I try not to use Bluetooth much. I'm old school, albums and CDs. So thank you for that, Lucy. And listening to music pretty much, because my day is largely spent answering messages, getting emails, and clicking on links, watching performances. I do that either on my PC, my laptop, depending on where I am at the time, or my tablet that I've got as well. When I'm out here, obviously, I've got M Audio reference speakers and an M Audio sub as well, a subwoofer. So it means that I get a lot clearer sound out here, but also I get the bass frequency, which of course we won't get if I'm on my computer. For example, my PC, this is a Mac. If I'm on the PC, that's hooked up to my TV so that I can do everything at the same time, answering messages. And sometimes if I need to be looking at a screen for example, the history, or looking at interviews and background on an artist that I might be featuring, I have that on one screen, and I have the other screen maybe with the performance, or an open Word file where I'm making notes about the performance of things that I just want to point out in the analysis later on. So yeah, I have many screens going at the same time, and tonight I have 2 screens going at the same time on the Mac. So I use all kinds of things to listen to music, and it just depends where I am and what I'm doing at the time as to what I use in order to listen to it. Sometimes I'm wearing headphones as well if I'm trying to listen a little bit more closely to what's going on, and there might be a chord that I can't quite make out on my tablet, so then I plug in headphones in order to hear it more clearly. But anyway, yeah, so simple answer is it does vary, but thank you for that, Lucy. Carla has donated $1.99, which I mentioned about saying the PayPal link is not linked. So thank you for that, Carla. I will try and organise that. Maybe it's the case that on a live stream you can't link to an external site, which would probably make sense because YouTube don't want people going over to PayPal. They want you to donate here, so then they can take most of the money. Anyway, thank you, Paul, again for donating $5. And the message is, there is a click icon for PayPal on the Wings of Pegasus main page banner that works nicely, Phil. Please verify this. So thank you for that, Paul. This might be something that I can change in order... Now the screen's going to go all funny again, and ignore the likeometer because it does disappear. This might be something that I can kind of get around. I'd have to look at my own channel from somebody else's perspective. Maybe it's not going to work in that way, but I'm not sure whether it will work just doing a YouTube. Maybe somebody can try this. If you type in youtube.com/Wings of Pegasus, let me know if that takes you to the Wings of Pegasus channel page, where you can find the donate button, which is at the bottom right of the header image, where it says Wings of Pegasus, my face, and prepare to rock, and YouTube. If you guys or somebody can type that in and let me know if it will take you to that page, then I might be able to put that in the link, or at least in the description of this particular live stream. I'm going to see if I can do that now. I said in the live chat room that we are going to be shooting from the hip in tonight's live stream, and that is certainly the case. So I'm going to try and highlight this and type in youtube.com/Wings of Pegasus, and always check the spelling, and press save. And that might have done something. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it did. We will see. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to the Wings of Pegasus, hopefully, channel page, and then the donate PayPal button, which is the link that I've put in there. It will take you straight through to that. Anyway, this is going to be a live response type email, live stream via comments or emails to let me know if it's actually working. The other thing, as you guys can see, we are having an interesting hair day. My hair has decided it wants to all go on one side of my face, which is that side of my face, and not the other side. I don't know why. So we're battling against lots of things tonight. But fingers crossed, this is what going live is all about, and what we don't get in the other analysis videos, just shooting from the hip. Also hoping that the audio and the cameras work, all that kind of stuff. So we will see how we get on collectively. But thank you for all of the information, guys. Let me know what's working, what's not working. Paul, thank you for that donation. I'm just going to scroll down because Kara has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. And the message says, what about setting up a GoFundMe account? You might want to check it out. So thank you for that as well. GoFundMe tends to be just for a particular event that people are setting up and trying to raise a set amount of money, whereas I'm on Patreon, which is, like I said, the whole foundation. If everybody went to Patreon, it's exactly the same thing as a GoFundMe account, but it's a bit more personal, and you get community on there, and I check all the messages on there and see your comments, and it is a monthly thing as well. So it means that they really are the foundation of the channel. So patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus is the page, and there it is on the screen. So that is the page that is like GoFundMe, but I'm not sure how much GoFundMe take, whether that's 100%. Like I said, Patreon is something like 5%. I'm pretty sure it might be 10%, but I think it's 5%. It is really in the artist's favor, and the person that people want to support, it is stacked in their favor. And that is very much how Patreon is set up, from the artist's point of view, the creator, the content creator's point of view, whatever you'd like to call them, depending on what they do. But that is the site where it is really the foundation of everything that I do. So thank you guys for getting involved over there. And I'm just going to jump back into the super chat window, because we have had a lot of action in there, even though I've mentioned about the other ways, or the other way of doing it over on PayPal. But thank you as well. We have had a donation again from Paul, and it's for $5. Thank you, Paul. The message is, okay, I just used the PayPal link on Wings of Pegasus YouTube banner and it worked. 5 Great British Pounds has just been launched across the ocean. So thank you so much for that, Paul. And I don't know whether it's something that I can refresh on my screen. I'm just going to try something to see if this works. I'm trying to remember my password live while trying to do lots of other things. So let's see if that works. I do not know, but let me click over here. What I'm trying to see as well is that if somebody donates on PayPal, how quickly it actually comes through. It might not be an instant thing, and I don't think it is an instant thing from what I'm seeing at the moment. So Thank you for doing that to Paul, for sending that through and launching that across the ocean. It is much appreciated because I will get that £5, which means that it's almost double the amount that I would normally get. So thank you so much for that, Paul. And Renee has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, I just used your PayPal and it worked for me. I donated $5. Thank you so much for that. And the message is, you receive 3.45 Great British pounds. So thank you for that donation, Renee. It is much appreciated. And Debbie has donated £4.99 and says, I missed the PayPal issue. Can you say it again? So thank you for this, Debbie. Okay, right at the beginning of the stream, I explained it. So maybe you can rewind, but just quickly again. Everywhere other than the USA from June are going to be paying US taxes on all of their donations on their channel. So it means that as well as YouTube taking as much as 45% from every donation that YouTubers receive, myself included, you can add another 24% onto that, which means that 69% of the donation is going to YouTube and the US tax office, whatever they call it over there. And yeah, it means that I then receive 31% of each donation, and I then pay 20% tax in the UK because I pay taxes in the UK on everything that I get. So it means that I then pay 20% on that 31% of the 100% amount of donation. So it means for a $100 donation, for an example, I get $31 of that after everything's taken out of it. So just to let people know about that, and to make you guys aware that I think a lot of people are donating thinking that I'm getting all the money, and I didn't even know until tonight. And obviously YouTube have to email everybody outside of the USA to let them know that this is going to happen, and I didn't know how much was taken before I've now looked into it. So I want to let you guys know when I know, as soon as I know what is going on. So I'm just throwing it out there for all of the money, or at least the vast majority of the money to get to me personally, then paypal.me/Wings of Pegasus is by far the best way of doing it, because there's just a transaction fee, which is just a small percentage. It might be between 3 and 5% of the amount that you donate. And yeah, that will make its way to me. So rather than just 30% or 31% making it to me. So that is it in a nutshell. But thank you for the donation, Debbie. And Paul has donated £2 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. The message is, set up GoFundMe account, much easier and no tax. So thank you for that, Paul. And like I said, Patreon is the thing that I have set up in place of GoFundMe. It's a really similar thing. So if you haven't checked that out, then make sure you do. And I'm on there, of course, as Wings of Pegasus. But I think it's more of a community thing. On the GoFundMe accounts, from what I've seen, it might have changed now, but you set up a target that you're aiming for, and then people can leave comments, but they can't message you directly. And you can't have a one-on-one interaction with each person that is your GoFundMe person. Whereas over on Patreon, all of my patrons at the bottom of the screen, I can message them individually, they can message me, and I chat to a lot of them every night over on Patreon, and I post on Patreon as well. I don't know if GoFundMe you can do posts and things like that, or have different videos you upload. I don't know. But anyway, Patreon is the thing that I've chosen. And like I said, that is the bedrock of everything that I do. So thank you for that, Paul. And I'm just going to scroll down because we have had a few more donations as well. Jill has donated $2. Thank you for that, Jill. And the message is, $10 donation showed you got £6.89 Great British pounds, or pounds sterling. So thank you so much for that, Jill. And that is, if you do a currency conversion, that is pretty much exactly what $10 is. So it just goes to show that through PayPal, I get $10 if you donate $10. So thank you so much for that, Jill. Orlando has donated $5 again. Thank you for this, Orlando. The message is, help yourself to Stufa's Pizza. My dinner tonight, crunch with some pizza. Thank you for that, Orlando, but then maybe thank you not for mentioning it, or thank you for mentioning it not, because again, this is late at night and it is prime pizza time now in the UK. 20 to 1 in the morning. 20 to 1 in the morning already. Thank you guys for these donations. Thank you for that, Orlando. I think probably pizza's going to be on the menu at some point this week. Jill has donated $2. Thank you for that, Jill. The message is, Phil, website worked for me. Hope you got it. So thank you for that, Jill. And I'm going to try and work out a way in the future to see the donations that come in on PayPal, because I'd love to be able to address the donations in exactly the same way we have in the Super Chat window. But on PayPal, and it is something that I can do, because all I'm doing on the Super Chat window is taking a screen grab of the YouTube screen I'm looking at, whereas I can also get a PayPal screen up and take a screen grab of that and have exactly the same thing. I've got to look into, as I said, I've only just literally done this before going live, so it is something that I've got to set up in the future. But it would be great to be able to automate it and see you guys donating over there. But thank you so much for doing that, because effectively it means I'm getting double what I would be getting on YouTube. So it is massively appreciated. Thank you guys so much for doing that. And Jill has, donated $2. I want to make sure I don't miss any here, so I'm just going to scroll down. Rob has donated $5. Thank you for that, Rob. The message is, I wish I could have a bad hair day as good as that. So thank you for that, Rob. And I guess it's not too bad. It's just, I mean, you can see when I turn my head, one of my eyes is obliterated because the amount of hair that's gone on that side. Don't know why that's happened, but it's just, really, we are in uncharted territory from a hair perspective, and we've got another 4 months to go, and even then I'm not going to get an instant haircut as soon as hairdressers are allowed to work again, so we will see what happens. But thank you for that, Rob. And Ginny has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, taxes thing is a bummer, no fair. By way the thing with your hair, everyone has a natural part on their head. Yours is on that side, so thank you for that. I think sometimes it's on the other side. It seems to be totally random. Sometimes it's in the middle. So I think it's just wherever it falls after it's been wet and then dry. So I do not know. But thank you for that, Ginny. And DM has donated $1.99, but the message has been deleted by Laurie. So thank you for that, DM. And also Laurie for removing it, whatever it was. Maybe it was political in nature. I do not know. And I'm not going to say anything, but just to mention that over here in the UK, of course, it's all hit the fan with this Meghan and Harry interview thing, and royalty and the royal house putting out a statement, all that kind of stuff. I haven't seen the interview, so I can't really comment on it. I did see a little bit of the interview, and it was just Meghan there and Harry wasn't there. So this is something that, people have been heavily getting into, but maybe it was something to do with that. I'm not going to address that because I really have other things that I'm concentrating on, and I don't particularly, think that kind of thing is good to get involved with. But also, just from the point of, in this country, it was reported that Meghan and Harry went over to the USA and wanted to cut all ties with the royal family and wanted to not be bothered and didn't want any publicity. So I don't understand why there's now this interview that's popped up everywhere, because that's just about as much publicity as you could ever get. But as I said, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it. It's just that I think maybe that's why it's reported on so much, because of the fact that it was them trying to get privacy, but now it's not very private and lots of things are out there. I do not know. Anyway, thank you for that, DM. Paul has donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. The message is, Phil, Vince says there is a direct donation feature on Patreon. I've never seen this. Is this true? I think that might be right. And again, something that I'm going to look into. Maybe it is possible to donate directly on Patreon. If that is the case, then, like I said, I think Patreon is 5%, but it might work out that PayPal with the transaction fee might be around, I think, 3 to 5%. So it might be a similar kind of thing. But anyway, I will figure that out, and I'll do this all afterwards, probably this Thursday when I have a day off for admin stuff that I get into. So I'll check that out. But thank you for that, Paul. I have seen it somewhere, but I can't remember seeing it on the settings or being like enabling it. Maybe it's an automatic thing that is enabled. We will see. But thank you for that, Paul. We've had another donation from Totoro Porco as well, who has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, I will be joining your Patreon to offset the YouTube super chat levy. So thank you so much for that. And as I say, Patreon really is what this is all based on. So pretty much anything that happens on YouTube, Patreon is the place where I will always be, and my videos can always say, for example, YouTube say, right, you're now no longer getting any of your donations, you're not making any money from YouTube, and that is just the way it is. I could still upload my videos to YouTube and link them on Patreon, and you guys would still see all the videos and you'd still be supporting me. So that is why it means that over on Patreon I can still be doing stuff on YouTube, even if they said we're taking 100% of the money and the tax, whereas of course it means over on Patreon I'd be still getting all of the support. It wouldn't really affect me too much. So anyway, thank you so much for that donation, and I'm just going to scroll up to make sure. Vince has donated $5. Thank you for that, Vince. The message is, I was able to send with the PayPal button in your YouTube channel. I also was able to send from my own PayPal with the email wingsofpegasus@hotmail.com. So thank you for that, Vince. That's another option. If you want to send it to wingsofpegasus@hotmail.com, that's my email address, so that obviously works as well. Thank you for that, Vince. Jill has donated $2. Thank you for that. The message is, will messages now be on PayPal with the donation? So thank you for that, Jill. And yes, there is an option to put a message in with the donations, and this is something that I haven't worked out for tonight, but I want to try and work out for the future so that I can see donations on PayPal. And what happens is, when the donation comes in, it's pretty similar to the super chat window, but next to the donation amount it has a little I, and then when I click on that, the message then shows up. So I will read any message that is typed with the donation that's sent to PayPal. So it's a really similar way of doing it. It's just that obviously it comes straight to me rather than going through YouTube and then having all of the percentages taken out of it. But thank you for that, Jill. Paul has donated $10. Thank you for this, Paul. And the message is, okay, here is my new contribution plan. Super chat at $5 for questions, which I really like asking, but large donations, Mario-sized, will be sent through PayPal. So thank you so much for that, Paul. And I think this is the other thing to mention, that on the PayPal way of doing it, or through the PayPal way of doing it, the big donations, which are very kind, say for example, like I said, that example of $100, in the future I will get $31 of that, but ultimately $25 once I'm taxed on that in the UK as well, because I'm going to be paying double tax and YouTube take their percentage out as well. So the $100 mark, it gives you a good idea of the split that is made in order how much I will actually receive. That's why the PayPal thing is so much better. But thank you so much for that, Paul, again. And Ian as well, who has donated on $5 and on PayPal, because the messages have donated on PayPal. Rock. Thank you so much for that, Ian. And Vince has donated $5. Thank you for that, Vince. The message is, no, the Patreon button in your website is not to donate, but to join Patreon. It's an orange box. Thank you for that, Vince. Okay, so this is going to mean that if you want to become a patron for a monthly subscription, then you can do that, which is going to be a $3 monthly thing, and that continues. Obviously, Patreon, there's no catches. That's what I like about Patreon. It is just straight down the line. You can direct message me as soon as you're a patron if you want to, and I check the messages every day, so I'll respond within 24 hours. Or you can make just a straight up donation, and that is it. If you just want to do that, just a one-off donation and not do the monthly thing, then that is what that means. So thank you, Vince, for clearing that up. Lynn has donated $100. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. And the message is, here's to the moderators. By the way, the new camera, new carpet, and new thumbnail all look great. And yeah, here's a bit more for YouTube tonight. So Lynn has made a very kind donation, not only to me, but to YouTube as well. So thank you for that, Lynn. And it's 10 to 1 in the morning already, but this is, I guess, one of those standalone live streams that I've done, because it brings up something which is such a monumental change to the way that YouTube is working from June this year onwards. And when we think about it, we're talking about April, May, June, what, a couple of months, maybe 10, 12 weeks time. Everybody outside the USA is going to be charged US tax rates on their channel if people are watching from the USA. So yeah, it's a massive shift. So it's something that is such a change. I think it's important to really put the attention on it and let you guys just have total clarity on what's going on with the donations and everything on my channel, but also other channels outside of the USA. So thank you guys so much for these donations. We are going to get into, and I can see Carla's just gone in saying, can we have a likes counter? So here we go, 232. We've got so much to get through, and maybe, what, 20 minutes to get through it. We're going to jump straight into the requested cover. And I say requested cover, I had a quick look over on Patreon. Again, this is another thing about Patreon. I always check there and message before I go live so that everybody knows there's a live stream. You get a notification, and I do a post for every single YouTube video, which doesn't happen on YouTube. Sometimes you don't get notified about the live streams or every single video. You do get that over on Patreon. I also get the requests for live streams over on Patreon as well, which is what I go to, the page where I post about the live streams, and this is where I get the requests. So thank you guys for these. And I had a little look down, and I thought it would probably be suitable to have a look at Carry On Wayward Son because of the video that I did on Kansas. So Carry On Wayward Son was requested by Cindy, and it might have been requested as well in other places, but we haven't got time to have a look through. But thank you, Cindy, for requesting this one. We'll get this up on screen. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! Okay, Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. Let's do this. Rock! Carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. As I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion, I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming, I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Oh no! Masquerading as a man with a reason, my charade was the event of the season. If I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know on a stormy sea of moving emotions. Tossed around, I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set the course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, carry on my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest, don't you cry no more. Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing equals And there we have it. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was my version of Carry On Wayward Son. I think I introduced that as Carry On My Wayward Son. And when I introduced that, I was still in singing mode because I just recorded the video. So I just said the lyrics of the song rather than the actual song name. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And as I said, I think it was fitting to show that, considering that Kansas were being analysed recently. I think that was on Sunday that we were having a look at them. But thank you for requesting that, Cindy. And let me try and get everything up on screen that I did have on screen. There was the super chat window and the donate thing as well. So there we go. And thank you, Carla, for that donation again about the like counter. And Cara has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Cara. And the message is, what about Venmo? Check it out. So thank you for that. And I'm not sure whether these other sites that are going to be like crowdfunding are going to be like Patreon. And if you haven't checked out Patreon and you don't know what that is, then it's good, I think, to check that out. Because for me, that is probably the best site that I've seen. That's why I'm on it to begin with, because it's really from the artistic and creative point of view rather than looking at the business side first. But anyway, thank you for that, Cara. Cindy has donated $10. Thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, thanks, Phil. Here's to you until I get the PayPal straight with a peace, heart, and a guitar. So thank you for that. And Linda Z is in the house and has just donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, we must find a way to be able to ask you questions during live streams without YouTube making so much money. We need your great answers in real time. So thank you for that. And in the background here, I have gone to PayPal, or my PayPal account, and let's have a look. The last donation that I got was from Janica, and that was at 54 minutes past midnight. So that was 4 minutes ago. So it shows up relatively soon as to how quickly they come through. So let me just have a scroll down, because Vince is in there, and Diana's in there, Laura's in there, Deborah's in there, Lloyd's in there, Renee's in there, Ian, Jill. So I can see, and this is a good sign, I can now see the donations that have come through on PayPal. So thank you guys so much for that. And let me see if I can do something even fancier. Oh, I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm going to have to move things around. What I'll do is, I'm going to try and... This is really going to attempt to shoot from the hip, but we will see. I'm going to get rid of the super chat. Thank you guys for your donations in the super chat window. It's going to disappear momentarily, maybe. And let me see if I can do a screen grab. That is now a screen grab of PayPal. And what I can do is put the other super chat thing behind it. Obviously not tonight, because I haven't pre-planned it all and set it up. But we can see Paul in there. So thank you so much, Paul, for your donation. And I don't know whether we have to scroll to the side. Aha, here we go. So I can see that it was a £10 donation. Thank you for that, Paul. And I'm just going to scroll up, because then Jill donated, and this was £6.89. Thank you so much for that. And the message is, thought I would try this to show how it works. If I donate $10, you get £6.89. Not sure what the conversion is, but, and I can't read it because it's behind the little thing I put there, but not sure what the conversion is, but it seemed to work. So thank you so much for that, Jill. And I'm just going to scroll up again and see if I can match it up on the screen and not go too high, because then we have Ian, who says live stream donation. Thank you for that, Ian. And that was £25. Thank you so much for that, Ian. And let me scroll up again. I'm having to try and do this and make sure you guys can see it. And Renee has donated £3.45. Thank you so much for that, Renee. And Lloyd has donated £3.45. Thank you so much. And I can say in my currency as well, because it's converted the currency automatically. So thank you for that, Lloyd. And Deborah has donated £6.89 as well. Thank you for that, Deborah. And Laura has donated £10. Thank you, Laura, for that. And then we have Vince as well. And Vince donated £5. Thank you for that, Vince. I've got to now get my head around the fact it's in my currency. So thank you for that, Vince. And just scrolling up again, Vince sent through £3.45. Thank you for that, Vince. And now we have Diana. And hopefully you guys can see there's a little eye here that I can click on, and now I get the message. He is doing such a wonderful job at Tuesday and Saturday live streams and letting us know regarding taxes and how much YouTube actually takes out. He works hard for the money. Donna Summer. So thank you for that, Diana, and also that little lyrical quote as well. And we have Janica as well, who has donated $10. So thank you for that. And I think it will be a case of me having to refresh that screen in order to get the up-to-date donations. But in the future, it might be something that I do at set times in the live stream. Just do a quick refresh to see if anybody's donated and just to keep up to date with it, rather than going through them all one by one and refreshing and then waiting and refreshing. So I think it's a lot better just to do it at particular times in the live stream, because we are pretty strict with our timings here, and we go on for maybe an hour and 10 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. So maybe 20 minutes or 40 minutes, and it probably will work that way. And I'll be able to get them on screen because now I know that it does work. So thank you guys so much for those donations over on PayPal, and hopefully that kind of worked, me doing the screen grab for it, but we'll get the super chat window up on screen again. Obviously the super chat window is what I've set up for this software, so I can just click on a button and it all works. Obviously now we've got a little bit of white to the side of the screen because I had to drag that across in order to see PayPal. But thank you everyone as well for hitting that thumbs up. We are at 268 likes. We've probably taken our eye off the ball a little bit because we've been talking about taxes and percentages and all that kind of stuff. The likes goal that we were aiming for was 370, but don't worry if we don't hit that. We can always rely on the catch-up crew because they do such a great job just bumping up those likes after we have been live. But thank you so much for the donations. Orlando's popped in there again with $5. Thank you for that. The message is covering any song which Steve Walsh is lead vocalist is challenging. He has crazy vocals. Great job putting your own touch on that song. So thank you for that, Orlando. And as you can see in the video, I didn't quite have the same energy as Steve when he was performing live, but I was very much focusing on just trying to sing it half decently. So thank you for that, Orlando. And Michael has donated, do the moderators nuke religious messages? Just saw my name on the Patreon scroll. Remember, I'm Mike, not Michael now. Okay, so Mike, I have to remember, this is the thing that there are obviously so many usernames, and it is something that I've mentioned over on Patreon, that when people have usernames, and especially when they have a username that's not their username and they've got an alias, trying to remember the two names and how they correlate is really difficult, because obviously on Patreon there's over 300 names and sometimes aliases that I'm trying to remember, and on YouTube of course there's over 165,000 subscribers, so remembering usernames especially on YouTube is difficult. But I will try and get my subconscious to not say Michael but to say Mike when I address you, Mike. So I will make a mental note, hopefully flick a switch, and that will keep happening. So as for religious messages, I think pretty much anything political or religious, it's just because everything to do with religion or politics is subjective, and people are going to agree with it and people are going to disagree with it. People are going to maybe argue about things, and the one thing is that music, I think, brings everybody together, and that's really what I want the focus to be on with the channel and the live streams and the things that we talk about, not being political, like I said, because it's going to divide so many opinions. Naturally, you can't help but divide opinions when you're talking about things that people believe in. And that's very much the case with not only religion but politics. People might have been given their political view by parents, and it means that they haven't necessarily formed their own view and based it on their own views that have experienced them or they've experienced in the past. They are basing it off an opinion that somebody else has. So like I said, it's something where people are instantly going to disagree purely on how you were raised and what you were told was the thing to believe. And some people who then just believe things on their own grounds from the research they've done. So yeah, anyway. So I think generally in the live chat room and in the super chat window, religious stuff and politics won't be shown because it's about music on the channel. It's very much about, like I say, musical analysis, also cover videos that I've looked at. In the future, it's going to be analysing other guitarists who are playing on the channel. There's going to be nothing that I'm ever going to post that's going to be a video about politics or religion. I've always said just being a good human is the first thing that I try and concentrate on, and then anything else after that is just fine if you're a good human and you don't affect other people negatively. But thank you so much for that donation, Mike. And let me just make sure I don't miss any here. And that was the last donation in the super chat window, so thank you for that. And if you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. Thank you so much, guys, for the super chat donations. Even though, we are probably going to be moving away from that, it's great for you guys to donate in there so that you can comment and let me know how things are going on. So I really do appreciate that. So thank you, guys. We will be getting into somehow showing the pictures that I've been sent over on Facebook. So thank you guys for doing this. Vince and Carla, also huge shout out to the moderators for doing such a great job. And I'm not sure how I'm going to get these to show up on screen because I'm going to be doing this in a totally different way. And this is the problem now, because most of my hair is over one side, some of the long hairs are touching the end of my nose and making it itch. So if I'm scratching my nose all the time, it's just unfortunately a byproduct of lockdown and not being able to have a haircut. So let me try and figure out, I've got to try and think outside the box here. So I've got pictures on Facebook that I want to try and access in software that is live streaming. So if I click on that, and then if I click on maybe the button there, is that going to work? That didn't work. Okay, let's try this. Okay, right, picture there. Let me use, because we haven't got, okay, we are thinking outside the box here. Because we haven't got a pick roulette tonight, I'm going to use the screen grab from the pick roulette to try and show on screen what is going on. The only reason that I'm explaining it as I go is because it's really complicated, and if I don't explain it while I go, I'm going to lose track of everything that I'm doing. So let's scroll down here. Let's grab this and select it. One thing that I do know works is getting the background on screen. So I'm going to disappear and then talk while I'm concentrating on all of this other stuff. We are actually aiming to get the pictures up on screen. That is what I'm aiming to do. Let me see if I can get somehow that donation thing off the screen. Maybe like that. Okay, that is fine. That has worked. And let's get maybe the pictures up on screen. I do not know if this is going to work. Bear with me. Let's see which. I know that the problem is that I know that I've missed out a picture in the past and I'm trying to go back to find it. Anyway, fingers crossed. Here we go. I am going to be just throwing caution to the wind here, clicking a button to see what happens. So I don't know if that has done anything. That's the wrong button. And is it this one? Maybe. I don't know. I can't actually see on the screen. That, okay, let me drag that out the way. And that really didn't work. Let me try this. I'm clicking lots of buttons now. Yes, there we have it. And it's probably going to be a zoomed in version of the picture But, oh, the pick roulette likes target has also come up. Let's get rid of that. So, we've kind of got there in the end, even though I was just talking for about 5 minutes whilst I was trying to organise it. But thank you, Dave, for uploading this picture of yourself with the mug and doing a rock horns at the same time. And this is, I think, Cousin It. I think it's the hair all over the face. So thank you for doing that. And it's not something that I've seen, but I've heard that that is the name of the character who has hair all over his face. So thank you so much for that, Dave. And Shawnee Key has uploaded this picture of, and it's actually a little bit squashed, but it's the picture of myself and the pick as well, because Shawnee Key won a pick in the pick roulette. So thank you for uploading that. And as you guys can see, there is the front of the pick and the back of the pick. It's just the way that I'm grabbing it on tonight's live stream that is going to be a little bit out with the aspect ratio, but thank you for that. Also, we have this, which if I move it across, we might get a better representation of it. And this is the Wings of Pegasus supporters bus. And this was Jan, I think, who has uploaded this over on that page. So thank you so much for doing that. And we have Mary, who has actually shown, I think that's a toy dog in the background. But let me see if I change. I'm going to try and do this on the fly to get a little bit of a better representation of the picture, because the side of it can be seen. And let me, oh, that's gone the wrong way. Oh, it's a little bit zoomed in. You guys get the idea. You can see the pick tin on the left there with the lid on the right. So thank you so much for that, Mary. And Christina has uploaded a pick tin as well. So thank you so much for that, Christina. And as you can tell, this is why I said before the live stream I was struggling to get it all organised, because there's just been lots of pictures. And we have, last but by no means least, the Wings of Pegasus hoodie that Shawnee Key has uploaded as well. So thank you so much for that. That was uploaded quite a while ago, as you can see, March the 2nd. So I did miss that one, unfortunately. I think I'm going to have a little look back and or see, because I'm sure that I've already shown this, but I thought I'd show it again just to make doubly sure that it's okay. So a little bit of a haphazard showing of the pictures for tonight, but hopefully you guys could see that and it all worked, and I used the roulette screen capture screen, or the roulette square capture screen, in order to show that. So thank you guys so much for uploading those pictures. And I don't even know if I'm back on screen, because I had to get rid of the screen that I was looking at, whereas normally I've got a screen of myself in a little box where I can see that I'm actually back on. But I don't think that has happened yet. So let's remove it. Here we go, I'm back. So thank you for sticking with me. I'm amazed that there's still people watching after that debacle, however you want to pronounce it, looking at the pictures. But thank you guys for uploading those. Thank you, moderators, as well. We are at 1:15 already here in the UK, so we're going to have to call it to a close pretty soon. And the message from Paul, who has just donated $5, was no politics here, just music, and that means spooky tooth. So thank you for that, Paul. And Orlando has donated $2 as well, and the message says, keep spiking the likes, no holdouts, with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that. We are at 297, 298, so we might just about make it. And let me just get my patrons' names up on screen. That's something that disappeared that I didn't notice, but we always have the names on screen, so let's rectify that. And thank you for these donations, and Orlando, Paul, for those last two as well. And what I'll do is probably play another video. We'll see if we can get another spike of the likes by the end of the live stream, because we're going to have one more video that we're going to play. And I'm going to look over to Patreon again to have a look at something, see if it's been requested. We have Running Blind, Amelia. We haven't heard Running Blind in quite a while, so we might get that going for an up-tempo end to the live stream. Unwanted Stranger as well, We Can Fall Down. Thank you guys for these. Percy Johnson. I think we're going to jump into a little bit of Running Blind, just because I don't think we've heard it in a while. And we've got the couple of options here of the lyric video or the main one. I'll probably do the lyric video because then obviously it's easier to hear what I'm saying, just in case you can't understand it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Keep hitting that thumbs up button if you can. And I'll give the PayPal a bit of a refresh, just in case there are any donations that I did miss over there. But thank you guys so much for all of your donations over on the paypal.me/Wings of Pegasus site or link. Let's get into this video and I'll see you guys after. Rock! And there we have it. That's my song called Running Blind. And I think that video, for some reason, the upload speed of my internet just crashed while that was playing, but now it's all fine, so I'm not sure why that was. Obviously I'm doing a lot of things in the background here, so that probably doesn't help, but it was an issue, and it's still an issue with the upload speed. It's currently not at the normal level, and I've got the little, well, the yellow warning sign, and now it's gone away. So now it's gone back up to the speed that it should be, so it just seemed to drop for that video, which is a shame. But also, this is something that mentioning about politics and religion and that kind of stuff, I think that as an artist myself, obviously this is my channel, and that particular video and song is to make people think, but I'm not going to be discussing politics or religion. It's something that artistically I very much wanted to put out there to see what people think themselves. I'm not saying anything with that video. It's for people to watch and then make their own assumptions based on their beliefs, what they want to think about that particular song. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be saying, like, having statements about politics and what I think governments should do and what they shouldn't do and what religion should do and shouldn't do. I'm very much going to be staying away from that. Like I said, it's all about the music, and music is, I think, really artistically best when it asks questions. So that's what I wanted to do with that. I have plenty of other songs that aren't quite as I'm not sure, question rich or maybe posing questions. So yeah, it's one of those songs. I got a song called That's Metal to My Ears. So really depends what you're into, because yeah, that doesn't pose any questions, but it's just, I think, a good fun song to play and sing and run around to. So yeah, totally different styles of song, but that is what art is all about. So thank you guys for joining me tonight, and also I just want to say that Lila has donated $20 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, no, it's not just you, it's all of us. So thank you for that, Lila. Oh, that was in reference to the song, so thank you for that. And just to mention that Lauren donated £6.80 something, and that might be, I'm just going to go over to PayPal to have a little look over there, to drag it out to see that it was £6.89. So thank you so much for that, Lauren. And that was at 1:15, and I refreshed the screen at about 17 minutes past, so it was only 2 minutes previously that Lauren had donated. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to have to organise it in the future, and I'm not going to be able to do another refresh before the end of this live stream because we're just about to finish. So thank you to Tordo Porco as well, who has donated $5, and the message is your guitar in the background with the white soap bar pickups new Ibanez? So let me try and see on the screen which one you're talking about. Maybe it's, let me remove the likes in order to see what, I'm not sure. Let me read that again. Is your guitar in the background with the white soap bar pickups new Ibanez? So the gem, you can't see the pickups on the gem, which is behind the Maton, which is there. You've then got the, maybe you're talking about the PRS over there, and that's one of my dad's guitars, so it's not a new Ibanez. That's one of his that sometimes gradually just gets into the screen. Actually, I don't think you would have seen it before, because I've now got a bit of a fisheye lens on this camera, because it's like a 2K camera rather than the 720p camera I had before, and it's just got a bit of a fisheye lens on the end. So it means that you can see more of the guitars in the background, but sometimes there are other guitars that make it into the shot. For example, if I get rid of the live chat room, you'll be able to see here, it's a side-on view, but that's my Fender Strat, which I pick up sometimes for the analysis videos. And that's pretty much it. Is that my, yeah, you might be able to see just the Fender Strat there on the edge, but yeah, we have got ones on the wall. It's random as to which guitars are going to be shown in the background, just where I've put them down or what I've been playing. So yeah, that is the PRS, and it's, yeah, not an Ibanez. Anyway, thank you so much for that, Tordo Porco. Let me get the live likes up on screen. Let me get you guys back up on screen. And Lucy has donated $4.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, very well said, Phil. Music is universal and is up to interpretation of the listener. So thank you for that, Lucy. And Rob has donated $5 as well. Thank you so much for that, Rob. And it's just, well, Sod's Law, I think you call it Murphy's Law in the USA, that as soon as I play a video, the upload speed just plummets, and then as soon as I finish the video, it's all back to normal. But that's just the way of it. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and maybe it is something that I will do a video on in the future, just explaining about donations and that kind of stuff. I don't know if mentioning it in the live stream will get it out to everybody, but thank you for joining me tonight, and all of the donations over on PayPal, it is much appreciated. I'm going to work out a more effective system in order to do it in the future, just make it more efficient, because obviously just giving the website or the PayPal link and having something that you guys can click on is the most efficient thing that is going to be possible in the future. So I'll try and work out something for that. It might be the case that you have to go to the channel page and then click on the PayPal link on there. But we will work it out. Thank you guys so much for your kind donations over on PayPal, but also in the super chat window tonight, for letting me know how it's all going, and for hitting that thumbs up as well. If you want to keep on hitting that thumbs up right to the end of the live stream, you can do. We've reached a total of 326, so thank you for that. We're going to be relying on the catch-up crew to get us to tonight's like total of 370. It has been a bit of a different live stream tonight, but I think it's better just to get this out there instantly about the changes to YouTube in the future, rather than not letting you guys know and not letting you guys be on the same page as me and knowing everything that I know as soon as I know it. But that's certainly what I'm intending to do on YouTube. So that is why it's been a little bit different, and certainly shooting from the hip, because some of the things I've had to do tonight I've never done before, showing the pictures in really weird ways. But thank you guys for joining me tonight, and try to stay as safe as possible. Thank you, moderators, as always. And a huge thank you everyone for hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, and also hitting the notification bell as well. Even though sometimes the notifications do get a little bit lost, if you head over to patreon.com, that is the foundation of the channel. That's where you get videos every time I do a video. You'll never miss one over on Patreon. But thank you for joining me tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow night, and I already have the analysis video for tomorrow night set up. So that's going to be Pat's Benatar that we're going to be taking a look at. And yeah, sometimes I ask you guys to suggest one, but that was just one on the list that I think will be okay. We'll jump into that. It's right up my street as well from a taste perspective. We'll get the guitar out, also look at Pat's vocals, but it's one of those songs actually that it does get, I think, misinterpreted as well. So we're going to have a little look at that. It's something that I think is going to be an interesting live analysis. By the way, it's going to be the same time as these analysis or these live videos, the analysis videos. So same time, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So you'll have to try and adjust that for wherever you are. Have a little look at your time zones. But that'll be happening tomorrow night live, and then I'll be doing another video on Friday night, another analysis video, and then we'll be live again on Saturday night. Saturday night we are going to be having a pick roulette, so make sure that you tune in for that. But thank you guys for joining me. Stay safe, follow your government's guidelines wherever you are. Try and stay isolated, but I think try and keep sane as well. That's another thing that is important to mention, and we definitely have had a little bit of focus here in the UK, just trying to stay as positive as possible with everything that is going on here. But thank you guys so much for joining me. I just want to make sure that everything is still fine and we can still be heard, and that I can sign off and have everything fine, because On my screen, I think everything's going a little bit funny, but it's just the amount of things I've got going on. So I will sign off now. Hopefully this is still working. It's still going out live. And I will see you guys at the next one. Hopefully tomorrow night, if I see you then. If I don't see you tomorrow night, I'll see you in the live, well, the analysis on Friday, which will be in the comments section, but then for the live, and that, I keep on saying live analysis because that's coming up tomorrow night, but the live stream on Saturday, make sure you're there for that because we do have the pick roulette. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully it's all worked, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!